Okay, let's adjust the focus. Okay, we're live now. So today I'd like to tell you more about the motor windings because a lot of people contacting me and asking which motor windings category will be the best for for the client. And that's very typical question, and I'm surprised that nobody before explained that on the internet. So I will try to explain it now. For your understanding, is motor windings is the same as if you would buy a car with a single gear, and imagine your car can have a single gear uh, and only one gear, right? So it can be, for example, third gear, fourth gear, or fifth gear. And of course, you will have a different maximum speed, but at the same time, you will have a different acceleration rate. Um, so there is pluses and minuses of every motor windings, and it's actually working other way around. The higher motor winding, the higher acceleration, but the smaller top speed. So I try to draw some numbers on this paper to explain you uh, which motor winding will be the best in your case, because it's really depend on how you're gonna use your motor. Would it be high speed run, or it's more like endurance trials run where you go slowly but on steep hills and you need a lot of torque? So the two most popular motor windings are 4-turn and 5-turn, and the difference between those two are not that high, but still you can feel the difference if you build two identical bikes, but one will be with a 4-turn motor and one will be with a 5-turn motor. You will feel the difference in acceleration, and of course the maximum speed will be also different. So which one is the best? And there is no such question which one is the best, because for me personally, I don't prefer to ride too fast because I like to ride some technical trails where you need a lot of attention and it's difficult and you need a lot of traction. So for me, the best motor will be slower but with more instantaneous torque and less overheating. For somebody who lives not in a high mountains area and prefer higher speed, and he would like to use this bike, for example, for commuting on a longer distances, of course, the 4T motor will be preferable. So I wrote some numbers here and I will explain you what does it mean. So imagine you have a 80 kilometers per hour maximum speed for the 4-turn motor, and then you would have approximately, it's not for sure, it's all individual, but you will have approximately on the same bike 65 kilometers top speed with 5-turn motor, and you can see other values for 7-turn and 3-turn motor. You may ask me now, like, okay, who's gonna need or who's gonna want to install 3-turn or 7-turn motor? There's like extreme conditions, and that's actually true. I mean, a 7-turn motor I would recommend for the person who ride in extreme mountains where it's not possible to go over, let's say, 20-25 kilometers per hour, and he knew that it's going to be his most of the time top speed. So there is no point to go with a 5-turn or 4-turn motor. So 7-turn motor will be the best in this situation. Plus, they all have different efficiency graphs. What do I mean? Each motor has its peak efficiency on a different current peak. So let's say 7-turn motor will have the most efficient torque and consumption under 30 amps load, and under this 30 amps load it will provide the same torque as 4-turn motor will provide under 60 amp torques. So you see, like, approximately 2 times more current you need to push to the 4-turn motor to get the same torque as on a 7-turn motor. And this lead to extra heat created in the motor, and it's not efficient energy spending. So basically you will convert the energy from your battery into the motor heat, which you don't want to get, because under a certain temperature level you would need to stop to not burn your motor, right? So with 7-turn motor, for example, you can continue to ride with just 30 amps of current, and your motor temperature will be, let's say, 50 degrees Celsius, for example. While for the same climb, you would need to spend 60 amp current in a 4-turn motor to get the same torque. And let's say you're gonna spend the same amount of time climbing this hill on both of this bike, so you will generate 2 times more heat on a 4-turn motor comparing to 7-turn motor. I think now you more or less understand how to think about those 7, 5, 4 or 3-turn motors. Let's talk about the acceleration. So if you have just for example, let me focus here. Okay, if you have 1G acceleration with a 4-turn motor, you will have approximately 20% more acceleration with a 5-turn motor. And for somebody who wants the bike to be as aggressive as possible in terms of acceleration, the 5-turn motor will be a better choice. So the main question is where you're gonna use your bike. If it's gonna be like mostly flat hills with some uphill for like 50-100 meters up, or I don't know, up to 200 meters, perhaps 4-turn motor will be a good choice if you want to ride with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. If you, let's say, know that you will never use this top speed and you don't need to have a bike that can go over 60, I would go with a 5-turn where you can reach 65, 70 kilometers per hour, but at the same time you will get 20% more acceleration with the same current. And in which condition you want to buy this 5-turn motor is if you have more hills, so you have more inclines, and I think you can gain 3 to 350 meters on a high acceleration, on high speed with a 5-turn motor until you reach the critical temperature of your motor. And if you ride in mountains and you know that you will use this bike for off-road with a loose surface traction, and you would need a lot of torque out of your motor to be able to go through those trails, you can go with a 7-turn motor, which will use much less current for the same amount of torque as 2 other motors like 4 or 5-turn, but at the same time it will go slower and will heat up less than other 2. So that's the general idea how to decide which motor is most suitable for you. I think it's an important question. Of course, you can order 2 different rear wheels with a motor inside and then swap them if you want to go somewhere like to the mountains, let's say. Yeah, in these terms, the bike with a motor in the middle is a winner, because you can change just the rear sprocket on the bike, for example our Vortex model, and you can completely change your top speed and acceleration rate, while in the Typhoon bike you basically stuck with your option if you don't order the second one. So if you have a single wheel with a Typhoon, you need to think how you're gonna use it and which top speed you want. So I hope it was more or less clear how to make these decisions. And yeah, if you have any extra questions about the motor, you can leave them under this video. And if not, I thank you for watching this, and I hope this was helpful for you. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.